Yo, what's happening, everybody? We're back with another episode of Too Much Fantasy Football. It's Brian and Brennen here, and it's rookie day. We're talking quarterbacks and running backs. Brennen, how you doing today?
Well, the tush push is still going to be allowed.
It's still here, folks. They didn't get rid of it. Well, they realized Sirianni doesn't really have a play that he knows how to call outside of that, so they can't take his only play away.
I just think that it was so funny how they're vouching for player safety and the biggest thing, and then they're like, oh well, when the Eagles just have a bad O-line, it's not that effective, so now it's just whatever.
Right? It seems to have gone away just like Kelsey did. As soon as he left, it's changed. It's different there. This whole line is going to be drastically different this year. I'm interested to see how well this team functions without just the elite of the elite when it comes to the offensive line.
For me though, I think the biggest thing is just the false starts. That's all it really is just blatant false starts. So that's the reason why I wanted to ban it, just because you just can't call that play properly. It's just not officiated, I should say.
Yeah, and when you've got the Chiefs on the other side with Juwan Taylor jumping off sides every other play, so let's even the playing field a little bit. Let's just get rid of that. They cut him. Maybe we can just limit the lack of false starts that should have been called this past season.
True.
I guess it hasn't officially gone through. I think there were 5 rule changes that were brought up for the owners to vote on. One of which I think it's just funny. I want to bring up here. So right now, teams can trade up to 3 years of draft picks, right? Sounds about right. It's usually what Dynasty rules go by. Yeah, they're trying to get into the NBA status. They want to go 5 years deep. And the fact that it's the Cleveland Browns that suggested this too, oh, what are you guys trying to do? What are y'all trying to do?
I thought it was the Rams. I genuinely thought it would be the Rams that would hey, let's just, because obviously their whole spiel, Rams fans are just after Stafford, their whole thing is Joe Burrow, come on down, that it is. I'm enjoying this phenomenon of Rams fans egging this on because it's just hilarious. So I figured it would cost 5 first rounds for Joe Burrow, and I bet you they'd pay it.
Yeah, 5 of the Rams, absolutely, because they're picking bottom 8 every single time because they just F them picks.
Yep.
It's been, 1 first-round pick? Jared Verse is the only one they've picked since Jared Goff.
Hell of a pick for your only one, too, by the way, just to be that. It went Jared Verse and then the defensive tackle from Clemson, who's just been also a stud, too.
Yeah, they've got it figured out, man. Yeah, they have their misses, but you can't expect any team to go 100%. Howie is, I think, regarded as top 2 GM as far as you and I would.
He's my 1, but Les Snead is 2 for sure. It's really hard to.
And Howie missed out on Justin Jefferson. We have him regarded
that is his only
top 2.
Yeah,
but there's still blunders. But the fact that he keeps taking shots, he's not afraid because he misses, and I absolutely love that. More dynasty players need to play like that.
Yes.
So yeah, folks, we're going to break up the position groups into quarterback and running back today. The next episode you'll see we'll got some wide receiver and tight end action for you. But before we dive into that, we're going to cover very baseline here. Quarterbacks, there's really just one to talk about, maybe a handful. We'll go through about 5. Running backs, we'll get you through about 6 or 7 here today. But if you really want to dive deep, you really want to go into these things, Zachariason has a draft guide that I get every single year. That's some of the bulk of my research comes from that. Great stuff there. And folks, we've got to tell you, we are giving away a couple for free here. Yes, you don't have to pay the price that he has, and I won't even say how low it is because I want you to get the free one. So all we need, if you're here on YouTube, like the video, put a comment down there below, and then go over to social media, find us on either Instagram or Twitter, and like our post for this episode, put a comment down there, and we will reach out to a couple of random people and give out some free guides. So if you want one, you want it for free, it doesn't take very much. Just got to boost the pot a little bit for us. Help us get out there to the others and share the wealth a little bit. And hey, that's what we're looking to do for you. Really share the wealth. If you want to find out who the 40th running back is in this class, he got your help over there.
I will say Zacharyson's breakdown's great. When Isaiah Pacheco came through, I definitely reached for him in all of mine, and it panned out for that year. So I give JJ props. He's very, articulate with his draft guides. I enjoy reading them. You guys should definitely check him out.
Yeah, great stuff. Friend of the show, of course. We saw him come in and hang out with us last offseason. We're hoping to get him back on here in a few weeks for another draft. But let's dive in. Let's pull back the curtains here a little bit, figure out what we're working with in this class as we try to figure out some of the transitions. Way to go, Brian. Let's go ahead and start off with the cream of the crop here. I feel like most circles, unless you're Dan Orlovsky, it seems to be like a tier 1 quarterback, maybe a tier 2, and then the rest of the guys. Let's start off with national championship winner Fernando Mendoza coming out of Indiana. Brennen, give it to me. What do you like here? What don't you like? Thoughts? Let's break it down.
One, like, I think he's got elite accuracy. He goes through his reads really well. I think if he gets into a system to where like he doesn't have to be like the weight of the world on his shoulders, he's going to be fine. That's where I'm at with him. Like, he's got great pocket presence and poise. He's a high level decision making and ball security. He doesn't really turn over the ball much. He's very smart with it. The cons though for him is that his arm strength is not elite. It's good. He's not a big time runner creator, but like he has moments and flashes where like he can, we saw it in the championship game. He did win the game for them. He ran in for the end zone on 4th and 5, I think it was, and got the win for them. I just think, the ceiling may be a high end distributor versus he's an actual superstar, and he doesn't really rely on off script magic. And my comp for him is Jared Goff. Like, he's a B plus version of Jared Goff, which isn't bad because Jared Goff has been great.
Yeah, Jared Goff has given us top 7, top 8 finishes, multiple too. He's looked good. And I think that is one of my favorite comps for him, but I almost think it's taking away a little bit of Jared Goff. Like, could I see Mendoza giving us a top 8 finish at some point in his career? I think so, but I think his average is going to be closer to that of a QB 12 to 14 than a consistent 10 to 6, somewhere in there. Like, as far as Dynasty, I'm not clamoring at this guy. I think that's where I'm really trying to assess my feel for this guy. Like, if we were to put him in previous classes, like, would you rather have had like Cam Ward or Fernando Mendoza? Which one were you more excited
about? Cam Ward, a little more excited. Yeah.
And Cam Ward's still a question mark guy too. I think he might be at best a 10 to 14 on average quarterback. But yeah, for me, he's a big guy, 236, 6'5". He can run in a straight line, but don't get it twisted. This isn't Jackson Dart. Like, I hear people talk about his wheels and you see some highlights, but he's not carving it up out there on the field. He's just big, and he's not Peyton Manning. He's not immobile. But I don't think that's going to be a part of his game. Like, 200 to 300 yards rushing, maybe, I think is about where we would be happy with him.
I think like 200 would be probably his cap. I think he kind of gets like a sneaky thing. The biggest downside for him is I don't think he had a game over 300 passing yards. I think that was another stat I saw. It was like quarterbacks taken in the first round, not throwing over 300 yards. And like, he was him, like, and there are some names. I think like JJ McCarthy was one of the other names. Yep. There were some interesting names he was in that group with, but I definitely think he's gonna come in the world and light it on fire with Vegas, I should say. But I think it's gonna be a slow learning curve. He's got some good pieces there that he can kind of rely on, and it's gonna be some ebbs and flows for his rookie year.
Yeah, 100% agree. I'm right there with you there. I mean, he's got Tom Brady in the building. Is he able to help him out? The kid's got the stuff as far as the grit, the grind, the winning mentality, I think, is there. But like, as I've gone back and looked at some of those games, he was throwing late game picks. Like, he won a lot of those games for him down the stretch, the Oregon game, the Iowa game. But it's after he put his team in a contention of like they weren't doing great, or he almost shit the bed, pick sixes late. But he was able to turn it around and make up for it. So like, I don't want to fully take it away from him. I guess I don't want to come in here like he is not on the level of the Trevor Lawrences as they were coming out. Like, that high mentality. It is because of how damningly bad this class is that he is being put up on this pedestal. And he just walked away from carving it up in the playoffs, winning a national championship for Indiana too. Like, who doesn't love to root for that? Us as Colts fans here, I've got no Hoosier affiliation, but like, it's nice to see this is a basketball team that just won a national championship in football.
And he's fun to root for, man. Like, he's just a genuinely good person from what it seems like. And like, I wish him all but the success in the NFL.
He's very Phillip Rivers vibes as far as the competitiveness, the just down and dirty, but also the aw shucks, gosh darn it style as well.
A happier Phillip Rivers, I would say.
Yeah, which maybe that might not be what we want. I liked the edge in Phillip Rivers. That's why I did not like him so much growing up, because God, he played spoiler to the Colts way more often than he should have. Also,
Very true.
also the cornerbacks just had Peyton's number. Like that 6 interception game, I couldn't believe I was sitting there telling myself like they should bench Peyton. They just make it stop. Just make it stop, man.
Make it stop.
All in all, though, I think he's going to bring goodness for football. I think it's great when we have good quarterbacks in the league. I hope that the offensive line is improved enough. He's got Genty. He has Brock Bowers, Jalen Naylor. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, that was the biggest thing was like I thought for sure they would kind of make a bigger splash of like getting somebody in there to like kind of have him like be a running mate forever. But I mean, Brock Bowers is a good running mate to have. Like, and same with Genty. So they need, maybe they believe in Jack Besh and they believe in Naylor as like kind of like the fitting the pieces. So like I just think like it's going to be a learning curve, and we'll just have to wait. I think like my expectation if he can get like 6-7 wins his rookie year, that's a great rookie year for I think the Raiders have a lot to be happy about if they get that, especially in the division out of all things too.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I agree with that. So I guess as far as just like Dynasty, it's Dynasty Superflex here. I don't think there's any world where you could talk me into him going at 101. It's got to be Jeremiah going there at 101. But I think there's an argument to be had once we find out landing spot. It's anywhere from like 102 to 107 for me. Like, I don't think he's going to be a world beater. I think he's going to be a high-end QB2 for a Superflex Dynasty team. But I don't want to bank on him being my QB1. I don't know if I want to spend that.
I think I had him ranked for me. It's like 103. I think I'd have him because I'm sure one of the wide receivers is just going to go to a sweet spot. And I probably would want that. And I think 103 is probably perfect for him.
Yeah, I agree. And like I had Cam Ward. I was pushing like I thought he should be taken there in the top 2, top 3, top 4 of Superflex, just because like the value in quarterbacks, it's insulated so much. Mm-hmm. And if they were in the same dynasty draft, I think I'd still be more interested in Cam Ward just as far as the higher ceiling.
I agree.
All right, well, that's all the quarterbacks we have to talk about. No.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like the ones that are going to start on week 1, yes. The next ones are all wait and see kind of things.
Yeah, I think this is the only other guy that we're going to talk about that has hopefulness of falling into the first round. I think it's a product of like, so a lot of what I listen to is a lot of Todd McShay as far as trying to get my insider, and then like the way he talked about Shuck and Dart last year, I was going into draft day, I'm like, okay, we're probably going to see at least one of these guys go in the first round. Tyler Shuck got pretty good draft capital as well. I think that's where we could see a team trading back into the late first, trying to get that 5th year on him. But the big glaring red flag is the man just doesn't have the starts. You have to have at least 20 starts. Like, we have not seen anybody under 20 starts be successful in the NFL. Like, and then under 25, it's still rough. This guy's got, what, 15?
Yes, so we're talking about Ty Simpson.
Ty Simpson, yeah.
No, like he is like when you watched Alabama play, man, there's games where he was lighting the world on fire. And then there's games where you're just like, he was the reason why they were not in it. It's just, it's, there's just durability concerns. He's still really raw overall. Like he showed flashes of like elite QB traits, like high upside with the tools. He's a natural thrower of the football. I'm excited for him. I wish he would have stayed another year. I don't think he could have, though, right? I think he was ineligible. I think with his age.
Who knows though, with this
NIL.
We got potentially 8 first-round quarterbacks being talked about next year. Like, dude, you're just gonna get fallen behind absolutely. But it's a weird situation for him. I think there's some of those pre-snap reads that I liked for him. There's times I'm like, maybe this guy has it. Maybe, and I'm talking myself into it. I'm like, nope. We just did this with several other quarterbacks. And like they had a putrid like I think it was 120th something as far as their rushing game there at Alabama. So poor offensive line as far as just like the second half, they fell apart. He was just riddled with injuries. All the excuses are there for us to paint the story of like, oh, maybe we should give him a shot. Maybe we should give him a shot here in Dynasty Fantasy Football if he gets the first round draft capital, yada yada. But I think I'm going to be staying away unless, he falls into like a 3rd round or something like that. It just seems like I've learned my lesson before and I'm okay being wrong.
I think besides the Rams, because everyone's just glamoring towards the Rams as like, this is the spot. Like obviously he sits with Sean McVay. He's got clearly the talent to where he can kind of work for his system. Like, I don't know where else he would go that like I'd feel good about taking him like late first in a lot of dynasty drafts. Like I'm trying to think of like, like I was like, and the first thing came to my head was like the Dolphins, but no, I think they're gonna give Malik Willis, like I think they give him for sure 2 years. They don't want to do that to him, especially just give him the contract. The Jets, like, do the Jets really do this? Like, I don't know.
They've got 5 first rounders over the next 2 years, 3 of which being next year. I just don't see why they would ruin the rebuild by taking a shot here this year on something that doesn't matter. He won't be set up for
Yeah.
success in New York. I say bite the bullet going into next year with your 3 picks. Maybe you don't even have to trade up and you just continue to build around and get probably a better prospect.
Cardinals would be the only other team I can kind of think of like late, like early second round pick. Maybe they trade up as like the 32nd overall and they get from the Seahawks. I don't know, the in division trade, but that doesn't really matter. But I think that could be the only other team I could see.
Yeah, I've heard rumors of them possibly popping in at 23 with the Eagles, just jumping in over Cleveland at 24, Buffalo at 26. I've heard rumors of, but it's been mainly the Cardinals are the talk of a team that could trade back in. Just I don't see them going at the top, and then like starting with pick 20, you have got Dallas, Pittsburgh maybe at 21. You know, do they want to give that a shot? Chargers, Philly, Cleveland, Chicago, Buffalo. Like there's just not a match as far as what I'm seeing there.
I agree.
So
who's your comp though for him?
I'm so bad at comps, man. I don't have one for him. I'm gonna call him Anthony Richardson just because it's the minimal games.
That's
and it's complete statistical comp of the game started is the only reason I'm comping him there.
His high ceiling for me is like Brock Purdy.
Okay.
His floor though is Zach Wilson. Like it is a drastic difference of like where this guy could end up being for me.
Yeah, and I'm like I said, I'm okay being wrong on this situation if he somehow proves us right. So it's a murky one, and I can't wait till draft day. Cannot wait till he ends up sitting there until day 2. You know, we're sitting there waiting. Does he go? And then just cut the feed, Will Levis style. Nice. Anything else on Ty?
That's it.
All right. Well, let's go to his team's rival. Let's go from Alabama. Let's go to LSU here. We got Garrett Nussmeier. Quarterback out of LSU, 203 pounds, 6'2", 24 years old recently. There were talks going into this college season, like, okay,
he'd be the 101.
Yeah, is he going to be talks about in there? And it just didn't work out for him. And now we're talking about, like, does he become a day 2 pick? And where does he go as a backup? And does he get a chance, or is he just a career backup?
Yeah, like I see him as a day 3 pick. He's number 4 on my list. The person we'll talk about next is 3. I just think for him it was he's streaky. That is literally the definition of Garrett Nussmeier, is that like he's hot and then he's cold. So there's never like a real rhythm with him. I mean, the good thing about him, he's got a quick release. He's accurate, strong football IQ. He's a little bit older. That's what tends to be like a running theme for a lot of guys to succeed now, is a little bit older. He can operate a pro style offense, but again, like the cons are just he's not a major rushing threat at all. Like the dude is just a candle back there and doesn't move. I don't have any high hopes for him. I think he's going to be a backup probably. I don't know if he'll ever actually start.
Yeah, outside of him filling in for an injured quarterback, or oh my god, this is the bad plan. Let's put in the kid. He's 24. Maybe not quite there. Yeah, I mean, here, let's go comp. Let's go Rex Grossman.
Okay.
Let's go Rex Grossman. He's hot and he is cold.
My comp for him was a C version of Derek Carr. Like that's literally what I see him as, just a worse version of Derek Carr.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, Derek Carr, I don't think he ever actually did crack the top 12. He had multiple top 13 finishes. Yeah. And I don't see this kid getting multiple at all, even if he gets
folks, this QB class is really, really bad. It's not that we don't hate these guys. It's just I don't see a world where we look back 5 years from now, like, wow, what were we doing? The 2026 class was amazing. I don't see that ever happening.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of that, like Malik Willis's class. It was just like we don't really have a whole lot to write about there after that one. So I think it's gonna be really similar. Mm-hmm. Anything else on Nussmeier?
No.
Nice. Let's go to Carson Beck here in Miami. We're not in Miami, folks. Neither one of us. 233, 6'5", 23.4 years old. Went to the college playoffs. Did some damage. And I don't want to say he's like an attitude problem, but I think that's what mostly when you talk to people, it's one of the first things you hear. It's just he's a very vocal guy, I guess. But interesting situation where he lies in. I think it's going to be another day 3 pick for us here.
Yeah, I actually like him. I think if anybody besides the two we talked about, besides Ty and Fernando, this is somebody I could see potentially make a couple starts and maybe make a headway towards, a season or two starting. Like you just said, big frame. He actually is smart. He's accurate really well in the short and immediate intermediate games, I would say. He's safe as a QB. The only thing his cons though are just he's limited mobility. He's just got average arm strength. And I just feel like he's capped at a ceiling. I think he's going to be I think he'll be in the league for a long time. I just don't know if it's a starter or a backup. I just think he's just he will last for a while.
Like a Josh Johnson type, just.
My comp for him is Kirk Cousins, but
I mean,
a B version of Kirk Cousins, I should say. Like that's where I need to remind people. I think Kirk Cousins was a lot better than people want to give him credit for. But if he can come in and just be like a B version of Kirk Cousins, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's all we're really looking at here. You're going to be taking flyers in your dynasty drafts, taking shots at this guy somewhere in the second, third round, depending on the draft, just the capital and the team he lands on. That's so much of this. Not only does it depend on draft capital, but it's the landing spot. As we get into the running backs, I think Devon Achane is one of the best talking points on that. He was liked a lot as a prospect, but there were so many concerns. The size, the stock, can he hold up? And I think just about everybody I listened to that liked him said, if he can go to Miami, if he can go to Mike McDaniel in that zone scheme, I think he'll be good. Sure enough, that's what happened. I think the best case scenario for him and his career played out, and it was all depending on that. It was a late third pick, like nothing you got too excited about, but it's all about the landing spot.
I think Achane was a 4th rounder.
I think he was 3rd. I was just looking at it a minute ago. I think he was 84th overall.
Let's see. Quick Google.
84th overall, yeah.
Oh, good call.
But yeah, he could have gone on the 2nd round, but it was all about him going to Miami. That was the situation he needs. And funny enough, this kid's coming out of Miami, and maybe he falls there. Maybe he falls somewhere where he gets a shot this year. No idea.
No idea.
No clue. Anything else on Carson Beck?
No.
You said you got him as number 3 right behind Ty Simpson?
Yeah, he's 3 for me. Nussmeier is 4. Really, I'd put Nussmeier as 5. The last guy we're going to talk about is probably 4 if I had to if I really wanted to put the ranking, just because of the upside.
Well, let's go ahead and bring him up then, because he didn't make the graphic cut, but essentially the last 2 players we're going to talk about are the A and B as far as the style of quarterback, and we just have hopes for him because of the style of quarterback they are. I'll throw out my first one. It's Cole Payton out of North Dakota State, 23.4 years old, 232 pounds, 6'3". It's because of the rushing ability, folks. It's the rushing ability is the only reason that I think that he's worth bringing up here, because the class is so bad, and you never know. Jalen Milroe, I traded him for a 1st-round pick because somebody was hopeful going into the season. Damn, does that look bad for them now? But I'm just saying, there's hope around these uber mobile guys, and if he gets day 2 capital, I think everybody's like, "Oh, is he Jalen Hurts? Could he be something like that?" But who's the other guy you want to bring up in this breath?
Again, give me a dude who could throw the ball 100 yards and run really, really fast all day long. It's Taylon Green from Arkansas. He's elite size, athleticism, true dual threat. I mean, explosive runner. He ran like a 4.36. He was like 1st in like everything in comps wise, like top speed for 40 was like 23 miles an hour, broad jump, vertical jump, and then like the athleticism score, he was like 4th overall out of everybody in this class. So Anthony Richardson 2.0, but again, he will be a day 3 pick. Super fun. I don't know what's going to happen for him, but if you're talking about a guy who just want to sit and mentor, and hopefully he can learn the game and be a good, pocket passing quarterback, it's him.
Yeah, these 2 guys, there's a lot of excitement over the athleticism, what they can do with their legs, and yeah, Green's got a freaking cannon on him, so we're hopeful. Those are the flyers you take. If you were a rebuilding team, if you are in a multi-year rebuild on a dynasty team, these are the guys I'll take a shot at. Mm-hmm. Because I've got time to let them sit, got time to at least let the value go up, because maybe these 2 never amount to being actual starters in the league, but they could be bridge quarterbacks at any point. And I think that's kind of where you're looking for that time for the value to really spike in the value you spend on these players.
Yes.
But this guy's also coming out of North Dakota State. Yeah, we've got some
Last one
questions.
didn't pan out too well.
Yeah,
He's still in the league, so
this is true.
he just got a contract.
Yeah. So who knows? This could be Trey Lance 2.0, but I don't know. We're hopeful. Any other quarterbacks? I mean, we've got Drew Aller out of Penn State. You got Sawyer Robertson out of Baylor. Diego
the guy from
Pavia.
Clemson.
Yeah, Caden
right?
Klubnik.
Yeah,
Out of
Klubnik.
Clemson.
Yeah. Diego Pavia is going to be the Canadian Football League. I honestly, like, I don't know what that dude's just he's a true definition of a college quarterback. And that's
he's trending on Twitter right now in the analytical streets. The guy is just trying to find any spot that he's top 5 in.
I hope they invite him to the green room and he sits there all 3 days.
Well, you wouldn't be able to tell if he's standing or sitting because he's barely 5'10". He's a little fella, but nasty. He's a nasty guy. He goes out there and he wants to cause problems. He does some running as well, but only 207 pounds. Like that's not quarterback size, man.
Nope.
Like at least Kyler's beefy. Like I get Kyler's short, but like I'm not worried that Kyler's going to break in half when he gets hit.
And Kyle's also a little bit faster.
Yeah, much.
Yes.
Nice. All right, that's going to wrap it up for the quarterbacks. Let's go to running backs, the more exciting spot. No, folks, both of these positions. We got one at the top, and then you pick your favorites below.
That's very true. It is very much like after. I think tie is a consensus too for most people. This is where it gets interesting with the running backs. I don't think there's a consensus too.
No,
because you and I have different lists.
Yeah, and I wouldn't fault anybody. There's probably 5 players. If you said they're your number 2 in the class, yeah, whatever. We'll see when the draft hits.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to argue with anybody at this point in time. But yeah, Jeremiah Love, I will argue with this. This is the top. This is the cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop.
Mm-hmm. Well, tell me, why is he so great?
I mean, he's just just put on the tape, and it's just fun to watch. He's got elite acceleration. He's got good vision. He's got real receiving value, and then he can create explosive without perfect blocking. His cons are his pass protection is still a little bit of concern. I mean, it's not like, but again, you're just trying to nitpick for a guy who's probably a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
He's, I guess, not like a volume grinder frame. He's 6 foot, 212, but that's not like a Derrick Henry type of back where he could have some injury plugs. My con for him though is Alvin Kamara.
Interesting. I like that.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what we're looking for. Prorated his best season reception share, 12%, 12.9%, I believe, 12.4%. That's great. That's great. That's what we want with all of our running backs. We want this pass catching ability. I like this guy statistically. His comps would be the Bijans, the Ezekiel Elliott's. This guy got it done, and he got it done for multiple years. Top 10 is like where we're projected after we've seen free agency. Kansas City inevitably kind of closed the door. So did New Orleans. So I think we're looking at Tennessee at 4, New York Giants at 5, Washington at 7, or Cincinnati at 10. I think is inevitably where
that's just weird. I hope Cincinnati doesn't do that. Like Washington at this point makes the most sense. I think it's the Commanders. Honestly, they needed a thumper.
And it's weird because you can tell that they don't fully think that he's going to fall there because they've added, I think, 5 running backs. It's been absolutely bonkers the amount of RB3s they continue to add to this team, which is smart. Like you shouldn't go in there banking on the fact that you're going to get a certain player at a certain position because if they don't get Jeremiah Love, they're not getting a bona fide starter, later in the draft. So I think it's smart to make sure they have all their bases covered. But at this point, it seems like Tennessee and Giants. I don't know if this is like them trying to talk them oh no, we're not taking him. Is a lot what we're hearing right now. Well, does it really matter? Maybe the Giants saying that because they don't want Tennessee to take him right ahead of them. But Washington, it seems like there's a chance he could fall out of the top 10 if Washington doesn't take him, based on the Giants and Tennessee saying they don't want him.
Yeah, I think he's a top 10 pick. I think I have it. I think the Commanders makes just the most sense. The Giants still is so weird to me. I get it. Cam Scatterby had some wonderful remarks about CTE. I think the Titans,
dumbass.
Dude, it's just about a French fry short of a Happy Meal, but it's fine. The Titans, I feel like they're not a running back. This is not a pick to take out a running back. Like if they did, it's great. Obviously, Cam Ward has somebody to run with, but they just have bigger needs. I feel like I think the Commanders are a running. They do need a running back, and he fit perfectly.
Yeah, so I'm right there. I'd love, honestly, all three of those teams. I'd love the fit. I'm interested to see if he goes to Cincinnati. Chase Brown's on his contract year if he falls there. But I feel like regarded from most draft analysts, this is the best player in the class. Like, it's not like, oh, there's a couple edges and then there's this guy. Like, this is kind of the consensus number one overall talented player. So top 10 just seems inevitable for him.
Okay.
What else you got for him?
That's it.
That's it. Alrighty. Let's move on down the list here. Let's go to Jonah Coleman for Washington. We got a 220 back here, sitting at 5'8", just a little small there. 22 and a half years old. Like I said, coming out of Washington. I don't know.
He's five on my list.
He's five.
He's
okay.
5 minutes. Yeah. So for me, like, again, he runs behind his pads. He's got good contact balance. I mean, I think he's got a better feel than people expect for his size. He can help in the pass game. He's just not that fast though. Like he's not going to be a breakaway kind of guy. Probably more of like a chain mover than an explosive weapon. And I think he's just. I think the ceiling may be lower than the top 4 for me. Really, my comp is David Montgomery, like a little bit shorter, maybe David Montgomery.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard Doug Martin, Zach Moss are two of the ones that I've heard quite a bit. And I kind of like
Zach Moss. Actually, is a pretty good comp for him. I think Zach Moss he wasn't a world beater like when he like the games that he did start and play for. Like you saw, like just gets like 4-yard chunks, and that's really it.
Yeah, one of those players. I think just about every one of these players we're going to talk about outside of Love is going to be a committee back. I think he'd be a great RB2 on a team. And I think he could do some damage. You know, if he gets the role because of an injury or something happens with that team, I think he could do some damage in fantasy. But like it's all about the landing spot. You know, he's a do-it-all back. 8% target share, so like he can add that to his game a little bit. But it's just there's not a huge ceiling for a lot of these players unless they fall into a situation where the two of the running backs on the team are hurt. It's just you. Here you go, and you got like a 4 to 6 week stretch of just dominance.
Yeah, it's like because he's 2 for you, right?
He's closer to 5. He's closer to 5 for me. The order that I'm putting these up is just the orders that the graphics got downloaded, folks. So this isn't us going in the order where we have them. I kind of thought it was better that way than us trying to order them because I really have no interest in ordering these players past Love until I find out where they go.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's go on to the next one. This is probably my number 2. This one's probably my number 2. Let's go. We got Emmett Johnson in the house. 5'10", 202 pounds. This guy, like, it's not the breakaway speed. Like, you'll watch him. He's not outrunning anybody. He's not breaking away for a 60, 70-yard. Like, he's not going to Derrick Henry and just outpace these fellas. But the dude's got good vision. He's got I think he's got more quickness than he does speed. And it's just how he moves and functions behind his offensive line, the way he finds the cuts. He's a smart player, and he's just out of all the film I watched on running backs, this was by far my favorite to watch.
Yeah, like he's fun. Like, I mean, good tempo. He's got a feel as a runner. I mean, he's useful in the pass game. So like I think he's got a little more upside for that aspect of it. Does a lot of things well, needing a specialized role. I mean, the only thing for him is that like he's not truly elite calling card trait, and then can blend more than dominate. I think it's just like the biggest thing when I have for him. Like for me, it's like my comp for him was like the first 2 years of James Cook. Remember how like he was just kind of the scene. James Cook now is different. I never thought James Cook would be the 16 touchdown season kind of guy. And I don't think Emmett Johnson's that. I think the first 2 years of what you saw of James Cook is what Emmett Johnson will be.
And I don't want that to cut down his receptions too. Like 85 receptions over his final 2 years. That's something that I think that really boosts why I like him is he can add that, because if he doesn't have quite the talent of James Cook to go in there and be a bell cow and get you double-digit touchdowns, I think it's through the passing game that he could really save his fantasy value. And I think he'd be a great RB2 on a team. You put him behind, some more of like an electric, that speed player. I think he'd be he'd be an awesome tandem with one of those type.
I think the Seahawks will be I think the Seahawks will be an interesting landing spot for him.
What else are they going to do at this point? Like what
Yeah,
else? Like Brian Robinson, I guess, did we talk about that one? Yeah, we talked about that one in the
yes,
debate, but Brian Robinson was like the last, like, all right, you can kind of lean on this guy as far as a free agency running back. So Seattle they have to be taking at least 2 running backs in this draft.
yes.
Have to be. But Emmett Johnson, I think he could be a weekly starter as far as fantasy is concerned. I think he'd be in a good situation. Like I said, the pass catching really is what moves the needle for me.
Another name I'm trying to think of, a bigger James White.
Love that. That's what we're going with, folks. A bigger James White. Love that.
Because he's got, that's where I'd say him at. Yeah, James White.
Super Bowl MVP, James White.
That's right. I forget that. Yes.
He sets. I think he holds the record for most receptions in a Super Bowl. Absolutely bonkers. But yeah, coming out of Nebraska, Emmett Johnson. I just said I'm not ranking him, but I think this is my number 2.
He's my number 3.
Nice. Alrighty, next up, let's go back to Notre Dame and let's talk about the backup to Jeremiah.
My
Love.
number 2.
Okay, all right. Your number 2.
Yes.
This one was harder for me just because he got stuck behind, such an elite player. 5'11", 203. Give it to me. Give me some Jerry and Price love.
He can pass block, so he will be on the field for third downs. I feel like it's one of his big pros for him. He's got bursts through the hole. He's a patient runner. I mean, he was with Jeremiah Love, so like obviously he probably helped him out in learning the game as well. The cons for him, he's just not as a proven receiver as some of the other backs. Not as dynamic overall as Love, and then he just needs a little more consistency in the pass pro. But like my comp for him was Devonta Freeman.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I think, again, we're talking to all committee backs. This guy's going to need somebody with the remainder talent that he doesn't have, but he has something to bring. I still think that he could be a weekly starter in a committee role where he's giving you mid to low end RB2 numbers pretty consistently. I think he has that ability, especially if he's on a team that scores touchdowns. So Jadarian Price, a name to watch out. I think we could find him possibly in how many? Okay, so Love's going in the first round. Do you think any? I don't think more than one player goes in the second round if we get a second round running back.
I'd say my over-under would be 1.5. I think maybe 2 go in the second round. I think in total about like 5 go in rounds 2 and 3.
Yeah, I could see day 3 definitely we get a lot more cleanup. Round 2, it all depends on just strategy, what teams draft and where. So a lot of that plays into it. But I think these are a lot of like round 3 running backs, which folks, that's nothing to be upset about.
It's a day 2 pick.
Running backs can be
a top 100 pick.
Like you see them come out of all the rounds. So yeah, when we're still getting some solid draft capital, I think he brings something to the table. And again, he'll be a weekly starter, for fantasy as his career goes along. All right. I don't have a comp for him. Can't think of anybody right off the top of my head. So we're just gonna go with yours. I liked it.
Okay.
Nice. What else you got for Price?
No, it's it. I think he'll be the number 2 off the board though.
I could see that. Yeah. I can see that. All right, let's talk about the sleeper in this class as he has blown up since the combine, and rightfully so. The kid crushed it in the combine. Mike Washington out of Arkansas, 6'1", 223 pounds, folks. There's something to get excited about. One of the fastest running backs in this class is coming in at 223 pounds. I like me a big beefy fella. I like me a fast, beefy fella even more.
He's 4 for me. Could argue 3, honestly.
This one, he would be. I go flip flop between him and Emmett Johnson. Price and Coleman. They're just not sexy. There's no. They're like they seem like a safe RB3, RB4 in this class for me. Mike Washington and Emmett Johnson. They just bring a little bit more flair. And come on, when you see a guy run that fast, we say that the speed means nothing for wide receivers. It means a little bit more for running backs.
Yeah, 4.33 fastest running back time, I think, for the running backs. Power back build, excellent long speed for a big runner. North and south kind of a runner. The only like cons, I guess, for him is just not the shiftiest. He's more linear than he is creative. But my comp for him is Jonathan Taylor, dude. He's just if he gets into open field, it's trouble.
And a guy with that kind of size, he should be able to push through that. Being able to break those tackles, being able to to move through the line. It's great stuff. Jonathan Taylor, man, that's the high upside, but yeah, that's the style he plays. It's that grind it and the breakaway speed. It's crazy when you talk about like breakaway speed running backs. Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry are two of the first that come to mind, despite them not being the Mitchell that just went to the Chargers. What's his name?
Are you talking about Omarion Hampton?
No, the back.
Oh, Keaton Mitchell.
Keaton Mitchell. You think of players like that when like just because they're fast or they're shifty. But no, when we talk about the guys that we watch on Sundays breaking away big run, it's a lot of those big beefy fellas.
Mm-hmm.
How many times can I say beefy in this episode?
Yeah, you said beefy quite a bit.
I just, I'm a little hungry. I've had to put off lunch for the recording a little bit. So yeah, maybe I am a bit hungry. And I'm hungry for some running backs, folks. We need more running backs. And God, so does my Dynasty League. And I'm not finding them in the draft this year. All in all, I think there's a spot in this league where Mike Washington comes in and gives us again, another weekly starter style player. Nice. Anything else you have on him?
No, that's it.
Moving on. Our next player here on this list, we got Katron Allen coming out of Penn State. 5'11", 216, 21 years old, be 22 by the time the season starts, but we like that. A nice young player, good size across the board as far as height and size, and played at Penn State. Decent career up there.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to he was one of those guys I just kept out. Like the pros for him is that he's, physical downhill runner. He's got great vision, consistently falls forward. So that's always a great thing. He's just not really fast. He's not a big play home runability, and he's not a receiving threat. So he's a Brian Robinson Jr. is what my comp is for him.
Yeah. Like the falls in that line of the Nick Chubb and the Judkins style. Like he's a one trick pony. He's got one great trick, but he needs to be in the backfield with another player that can complement what he does best out there on the field. Because, folks, he's beefy.
Stop. Please stop.
Well, now I got to lean into it, right?
Yeah, I know.
Another player. Jay Ajayi is one of the comps I hear for him pretty often. I like it. That. Folks, you forget the 3-ish seasons we had some pretty good Jay Ajayi years, especially
Super Bowl champion, right? For the Eagles?
Yeah, I believe he won with the Eagles.
English too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's fancy, folks. He's fancy. But yeah, another role player. I think he comes in there. I think he is closer to an RB3-ish when it comes to all said and done as far as fantasy is concerned. He's going to have to be on a team where he scores a lot of touchdowns, I think, if he's going to be relevant.
Goal line back. He is a goal line back. He's going to piss off somebody's backfield for sure.
The Garrett Blunt type, but less cooler name.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. I got one more player on my list I want to talk about. He's kind of an eye roll player just because of where he is. But do you have anybody else you want to bring up before we get to him?
No, I kind of went through. Katron Allen was kind of the outside looking in for my last player. So this guy's all you.
I just want to bring him up. It's fun. Let's talk about some Adam Randall. Jesus. 21 years old, coming out of Clemson. 232 pounds, folks.
Ollie Gordon all over again.
You know what he is. And God, if he doesn't come in at 6'3" as well, yeah, buddy. Yep. And look, again, we're talking about these players that third round and plus. So you have to look for some outliers. That's exactly what this kid is. At that
round
size.
6.
Unfortunately, it could be.
Yeah.
But you look at him, you're like, wow, he should be a wide receiver. Well, he was. He was a wide receiver, converted to running back. And damn, if we don't see that happen sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. But we're hoping this is the sometimes it works out. Big kid, pass coverage. Yeah, we need to work on that a little bit. But he's great at catching the ball. He's great.
I'd hope so.
Yeah, it wasn't from the lack of catching that he swapped over to the running back position, but in the right system, I think this is a Devon Achane-esque situation. In the right system, I think he could be a part of he could be a great part of a
tandem
300 master. Yeah, somewhere in the tandem of it. It's just the possibility. Look, we're looking for upside as far as these players, and before we know landing spots, this is what we have to go off of. And I like me a big fella, and I like me a guy that can catch.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Comps. I don't even know where to go with this.
He's an anomaly. I don't know any 6'3", 230 backs that were a wide receiver converted.
I'm just trying to think. Antonio Gibson is one of those guys. Tyrone Tracy, another wide receiver converted to a running back.
But Tyrone Tracy's not 6'3", though. He's like 5'11", 5'10", right?
Neither one of them are this size. Yeah. So maybe that's why I'm leaning into it. I'm like, all right, so we've seen it happen before, and now you're going to put on some, like 232 at running back and 6'3". It's like we're approaching Derrick Henry numbers here as far as just the size. And maybe that's what's getting me all hot and bothered. But it's just the name to keep an eye out on. Are we really going to be targeting heavily in drafts? Like dynasty drafts? Probably not, especially not
round 3, round 4. You're taking a flyer on them.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got several leagues that it's only 3 rounds, so this is going to be one of those like first free agency targets if I don't have any 3rd round picks. But like I said, it's all about landing spot, and it's just the excitement. We got to get excited about something, folks. We have 1 month until the draft. Things are going to get rough to talk about. We're going to start throwing out some crazy takes because we just don't know what to talk about. Not us. We're the chatter world. Two of us, we know what we're talking about. That's why you keep coming back, folks. That and the chance to get a piece of that JJ Zachariason prospect guide. Again, folks, like, subscribe. If you gotta be following us to get it, but we'll be reaching out to a few people. What else you got here, Brennen? What else you got before we get out of here?
I've got nothing else. I'm a lot more excited for tomorrow episode or when we talk about the wide receivers and tight ends. That's a lot more fun for this class.
Yep, tight ends, we're shooting our shots. We got to find our Harold Fannin in this class. And then wide receiver, I don't think it's an elite top 3 tier or whatever.
A lot of wide receiver 2s.
It's a lot of really good wide receivers. Wide receiver 2s are good, folks.
Yes.
You can't forget that. There's only 12 wide receiver 1s. So this is a group of, we could find some guys peppered in all over the place. 5s. I mean, have you heard it's like potentially, I think it's 5.5 is the over-under for wide receivers in the first round.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean towards the under, but I think it's like probably right at like 4 or 5. Yeah,
it's gonna be crazy. We've seen it before. Once that 20th pick starts, we could see them go back to back to back to back.
Yep.
And Mekhi Lemon, spoilers, is I guess a top 30 visit with the Chiefs yesterday is the news going out there. So, oh boy, we know they don't like guys that are straight shooters. Not to say Mekhi Lemon isn't, but like, come on, they're looking for trouble.
Hey man, if you take the player, you don't care about the off-field stuff. That's all that matters. Look at the Rams.
Oh God, we didn't even bring up that.
Yeah, I know. It's a little tough situation to bring up. Biting and then saying anti-Semitic remarks is
Well, I mean, Puka must have been a big Antonio Brown guy because he is following that path in the accelerated form.
Seattle's probably like, thank God we got this contract done.
And like, you guys are about to be tied to Puka with how much money? Yeah. Great player. Hopefully it's all, I guess
it's rumors.
To say.
It's rumors.
It's all rumors right now, but we'll find out as that
Puka and Achua.
But that's all we've got for you, folks. We are wrapping it up. Again, if you're looking to be a part of the giveaway, like, subscribe, drop us a comment, let us know. We'll reach out to a few lucky winners here in about a week or so. That's all we got. Wide receivers, tight ends coming up next. Live best ball drafts, of course, all over the place here with Too Much Fantasy Football.
Deuces.
Later.